Welcome back to Bowers Creations. We got some woodworking to do this week, and we got some organizing to do. Let me get this set down and get that Jeep moved out of the way, and I'll show you what's going on. So what I have here is my knife drawer out of the kitchen, and I've amassed a pretty good collection of these Victorinox knives over the years. I really like them. Not getting paid to say this, but if you're in the market for some good kitchen knives for a cheap price, these are them. But I like them so much I won't allow our steak knives in here. Like our steak knives have to live in another drawer. I'm afraid of them getting tore up, stacked up. And then of course some are just open blades, which with a sharp knife that could be pretty dangerous. So I want to build a way to kind of organize them in this drawer. Maybe be able to fit some more stuff in the drawer. And what I have here is some alder. My cabinets happen to be made out of the same alder. And this panel would almost be perfect if I could live with that, but I think I'm going to go ahead and glue it up so I can get it to where it fits perfect. Alright, so I got my panel sized up and I'm clamping it up now. But what I also did is we're going to need some 1.5 by about 1.5 inches. So I cut me some scrap and I'll glue me a couple pieces together for that as well. Alright, we're going to let that dry, let this other panel dry, and we'll get back to it in a little bit. And just like that, I got me a panel glued up. Now I didn't have long enough material to take up the whole drawer bottom, but I think that's going to help out in the long run, because first of all, I could already get in here and I could get it out if I need to. I went ahead and put me some finger pulls in the bottom, just so I can lift it up. And then I went ahead and put a chamfer on the edge just to match my cabinets. All my cabinets have a chamfer detail on it. And they'll sit in there just like that. I think we can get rid of this drawer now and start the fun part. I think the first piece I want to work on is getting the steel. The steel's going to sit right here on the edge. And I think how I'm going to make a little cradle for it is using this cove bit. Or at least that's what I'm going to call it, is a cove bit. They call it a core box in the bit set, but I've never heard of that. That's more of a cove in my opinion. And I had to build me a jig because I don't have a router table. We're going to see how this goes. But I just basically built me an L bracket. That actually worked out surprisingly well. Now I could take this and mill out my piece I need to set right here. Alright, that actually worked pretty well using that jig to put that cove in there. I was able to take it to the table saw and cut it to width afterwards to get it how I wanted it. And then I even cut some off the back to get it to the thickness. I put the chamfer on it so it matches. And it's holding my steel real well right there. So now I'm going to move on and start laying out some of the knives and how they're going to look. So I've been fiddling with this for a little while, kind of laying it out. I got a ways to go. I got a lot of sanding and routing to go. But it's getting late right now, and I think I want to sleep on this and check it out in the morning and see if I still like it. Good morning. It's the next morning, and I was out here checking out our knife rack we was working on. Let me get you zoomed in here. Obviously, this is just a rough draft. I got a lot of sanding to do, and I'm going to make some adjustments on the height on some of these. The next step is to decide how much routing I want to do. I'm going to do some around the edges, obviously. But I don't know if I want to route in between where each knife kerf is or not. But for now, I want to get rid of the knives. I think we're done with them and start getting this all cleaned up. Man, I'm enjoying this fence setup. It sure has made life easy. If you want to see how I built it, I have a video on it. You can check it out in the description below. I'll leave a link for you. You just see me over on the miter saw cutting all these shims, and this is pretty much our layout. And something to think about when you're laying out this many parts with gaps and stuff is, instead of trying to lay it out from one side to the other and just hope it matches, I went ahead, used a little bit more material, and cut shims for every piece. And now I could just split the difference. We know it'll match on both sides, and that gives us a starting point. So I think I'll let these dry completely before I try to route them. That way they don't break off since they're only toenail. And then other than that, we need some touch-up sanding, and then we can start laying out our little blocking for our handles. So this has actually had several days to dry. I've been pretty busy the last couple days. And I've kind of got the blocking for my handle rest figured out. I just need to do a few little adjustments and get them cut to size. Once I get those attached, I'll kind of show you what it looks like, and we'll see about getting it finished. We got these how I think I want them, or at least how they're going to be. See if we could get them tacked in place here. Our little trim piece also is going to double as our spacer. Just so happens. Once we get this kind of where we want it. That just about gets her wrapped up there. I'm going to do some finish sanding here and there on it. Try to set these nails a little bit better. And then I got some linseed oil around here I'm going to smear on it. That's what I could find at Walmart. I was actually after some tung oil. And to be honest, I thought about just spraying it with some lacquer real quick out of an aerosol can. But I figured some folks would probably yell at me for that, for it not being food safe. So linseed oil it is. We'll try it for the first time and see what it looks like. Got everything cleaned up and put away, and gonna try this linseed oil out. Like I said, I've never tried it before. Maybe I should try it on the Jeep. I don't think my Jeep's cool enough for all that linseed oil stuff. That's what they do on the old cool patina cars. But I'm gonna put this on the back here just to get started. Let it set up, and then we'll do the front, and we'll see how it comes out. As you can see, I'm really lathering it on there, and it's soaking right in. I thought it was going to be kind of like tung oil and take a day or two to dry, but this is already seems dry to the touch. I want to let it dry for a little while. I'll flip it over, and I'm going to do the front, and we may be able to get this done today. Man, that turned out pretty nice for some scrap wood. That alder, though, you could almost spit on it and it come out nice. This linseed oil is pretty cool too. I'm gonna have to check it out more. Supposedly you could use it on the old vehicles and stuff. It dries fast and smooth. If it would have been anything like the tung oil, I would have had a mess everywhere. By the time I got it worked down in these grooves, I was soaked in this oil. And luckily it's not near as sticky. In fact, it's not sticky at all. It's just a little oily. And a lot better to work with than the tung oil. I think I'm going to go in and get my drawer. We'll get this set up and get some shots of it. If this ain't your favorite part of a project, then definitely let us know in the comments below what it is. As we go through these, obviously you can't have a knife collection without talking about them. And my first one here is a 12-inch brisket knife. These are all Victorinox. I'm not 100% certain on these names. Some of them, like this one, I don't even know exactly what this one's called. It is an 8-inch butcher knife, style knife. I actually have two boners. This one has the grooves in it, the relief cuts. And this was my first one ever. It's also a boner. It's a little bit more flexible. Then of course I have two different versions of the paring knives. And then we have this Skinner I've never used. All these were gifts. They were bought as gifts. I appreciate every one. Just haven't used them all yet. My steak knives are nothing to write home about, so they're going to just stay right there. Oops, we forgot one. So this is actually a Spyderco kitchen utility knife, and man, does that thing come in handy. I'm gonna start setting these in here. Check it out, another scrap build, some organization done. Works for me and my family. So if you like this type of content, we already have some organizational videos and some scrap build videos posted. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. It helps us grow and helps us get farther out there and gives us motivation to keep pushing to learn more. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time.